What you've got right here in the ring, you've got a champion. You've got Tully Blanchard. You've got Ole Anderson. You've got myself. And last, but by no means least, you've got Ric Flair, the world's heavyweight champion. You're talking about the 4 horsemen of professional wrestling, the people that make things happen.
You have 68 wins. You cannot 69 Mina.
I am that reminder that no matter how far you get in life, there's going to be someone like me, born with much more than you do, who can cash in and take it all away at any moment.
Now, you know what? Now, I don't know who you've been talking to, but it's obvious that you hadn't talked to me. I pull rank around here, and everybody better remember that.
Ooh, follow the white rabbit.
The mask has been removed, but I tell you what, he's still the same pro wrestler, whether he's wearing a mask or not.
You can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother.
Whoa!
We got a mom in the front row who taught her daughter how to suck dick.
None of you can handle Tekla. None of you can handle the Sisters of Sin. And none of you silly bitches can handle the Triangle of Madness.
Oakley has Trey. Look at the speed, the rotation, the impact.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome once again to the Saturday Shenanigans, hosted by yours truly, the Renegade JJ Williams. Hi guys. Hi guys. CM Punk drama bullshit to the side. I still consider Hangman the worst AEW champion they've had. First of all, we're going to bring in Walter Cruz.
I said that as a joke when what's his name did his promo Monday. He said, "I'm from a prestige university." I said he majored in Steiner math.
We've got the Heeb man, James Hebert, in the house.
I do really cool and dumb things on the internet.
Right. A lot of shit going on here. A lot of fucking crazy ass shit.
Where is Noah JD? Well, say his name and he appears, because we believe in Noah Foster.
Fuck is this intro? It is one of those things where as fans we do have these desires for what we want to see, but sometimes you can't always get what you want, and there are reasons you truly don't get what you want. I wouldn't even listen to this in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. What the fuck is this shit? God, rap is whack. Like I said, never been a greater time to be a wrestling fan than with more companies in a more lucrative spot, in a more comfortable business spot, in a sense of mind, it seems, than ever. Again, WWE is not the only one. It is not the end-all, be-all. So let's go back to the Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams to get the official word. JJ, speak!
Make sure you tune in every week, because you never know who's going to drop in to join the shenanigans. Catboy is in the house.
Hello, my internet family. I say if you want to make them as evil as possible, make them really mad.
We have Mansfield joining the party now. What is going on, Josh?
Like I told no one when we were in Cleveland, him joining Tracy was just an unfortunate side effect of my shenanigans towards you, JJ. I know how it can get better, Noah. The panel chooses you.
Shut the fuck up, Josh.
You said that so like
We got so many intro back.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just like how you and I had lunch together the other week.
That was different.
Ladies and gentlemen, the King is here. Say his name and he appears. We believe in King A-Train. There are so many believers in Joe Hendry. The only person on this panel that doesn't believe in Joe Hendry is King A-Train.
I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe
why you do not believe in Joe Hendry.
The reason I do not believe Joe Hendry is he is Fandango 2.0 in a entrance merchant. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Hey! There's nothing wrong with being an entrance merchant. He has some of the best entrances of all time.
Teleporting into the command center, all the way from Angel Grove High, Datilla.
Oh, yeah. I went to the command center on Thursday. I went to Vasquez Rocks, which is where they filmed a lot of episodes. Somebody actually climbed to the very top of those rocks. I made it halfway. I was like, I'm not going up there. Definitely Toni Storm versus Mariah May. That's the one match I probably am looking forward to the most. I really like the story. I'm familiar with all about Eve, so if it plays out that way, I kind of know how this is gonna go.
Say goodnight, Datilla.
Good night.
James, you did say his name. So he shall appear, ladies and gentlemen, the first time on the Shenanigans. Jeff Meacham is in the motherfucking house.
All right, we're coming in hard with the botch. All right, fucking hell. It's good to be back. It's good to have an opportunity to talk to the crowd on a Saturday. If you want to have yourself stomach through it, you can go back and watch when the Main Event Mafia took over Impact. That's what James was talking about. So if everybody just joined us, we're talking about people sedating people, attempted murder, boys, and tips. Welcome to Saturday Shenanigans, everybody. Aren't you glad I'm back?
Welcome back, Jeff.
Cool.
Get it? Got it.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back once again to the weekly moderated conversation of wrestling madness. That is the Saturday Shenanigans. To this evening's festivities. The Silverman Noah Foster. Good to see you all once again. Thank you all for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. And if you want to dictate the conversation, super chat or PayPal of Passions. It's as simple as that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in tonight's cast. You have a dynamic duo this evening popping out before midnight virtually on this app. It is my cohort as fellow gamer and crazy wrestling watching aficionado, Charles Schultz, will also be joining me tonight in the fray as I welcome you into the Shenanigans once again at the end of this fine Saturday. Before we get into things and I see how he does and how he's feeling, shout out to a great friend here at the Summer Studios, Kai McKenna, the Conduit of Karma, who was involved this evening on Collision. If you didn't go watch that, please go see her and Alley Catch. You might remember their match from Polar Mania. Together, they were a tag team taking on Divine Dominion in the 5-minute Eliminator Open Challenge. See how well they did, or Karma will come back and bite you in the ass worse than a Danhausen curse. And shout out, of course, as well to our MMA fighting cohort expert, Walter Cruz, who's covering right now MVP MMA live here as we are simulcasting, along with Statboy Mike. Please give Statboy Mike a follow at the Statboy Sports Bar, as well as give Walter Cruz a follow and like, share, subscribe today. Literally, of course, on his YouTube channel, Rage of Wrestling. That being said, let's go see how everyone's doing. Good to see Safed as always. And Charles, good to hear you. How are you this fine evening?
Tired as all hell.
Accurate. Also am I.
Well, can't be on camera for tonight, but it's fine because I'm not home. So what can I do?
There you go.
I'm lucky not to be on residence tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that tonight's agenda should be very simple. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And with that being said, I have nothing. Tonight's agenda is nothing. It's a show about nothing.
Now for our sponsor. Why not me?
I couldn't help myself, but literally, he gave me no agenda.
Oh, for real? For real? I got so confused for like 2 minutes. I'm like, what the heck is happening? And I can be live as I want today, so this is fun.
Imagine, Charles, you left alone and you just literally hold the shenanigans for yourself.
I'm just losing my mind. I'll lose my mind for like a good minute and a half.
That was funny. I'm sorry.
Well,
I wouldn't do that to you, but seriously though, yeah, he did not give. I don't care. That gets
well, this is the most. Well, this is the most.
Oh my god.
Well, I don't know how to respond to this. I don't know how to respond. I don't know. I don't know how. Well, this is the most interesting kickoff to the Saturday Shenanigans ever.
Oh man, imagine! Oh gosh, left by himself just to talk to you about Yu-Gi-Oh and the video game.
I'll be stuck on. I'll definitely talk about wrestling, but with what I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was too damn funny. Okay. I'm gonna do that to you, Charles. I'm gonna get you off guard with that. Hello, Matt. Good to see you.
Yeah, welcome into everyone losing our minds edition of the Shenanigans because I don't know what we're talking about.
To be fair, I woke up 2 minutes before we actually went live, and I checked. And I was like, "Oh, there's no schedule." Okay, so I don't have to worry about nothing because I figure the most important event now is MVP MMA. So yeah, off the rails, but yeah, wrestling. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about that.
So why do we talk about last night over here?
Yeah, I mean, we could talk just about this weekend general, of course, from the road to Double or Enough. And of course, stay tuned, folks. This coming weekend is Double or Enough week. We will be having Super Predicting 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday night, Super Predicting Double or Nothing. And also, of course, I will be on Major Push Wrestling Wednesday with Papa Gino and the crew. That'll be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live on the Papa Gino Network. And of course, this upcoming weekend, we will be covering Double or Nothing live, which of course constitutes in the start of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. And I also make it official, whether or not it's part of the Super Studios, as part of the men's brand to bring you more coverage of annual great spectacles and tournaments with strong traditions as the Owen has been. I will be covering every match of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament live. If it's on a Dynamite or Collision, you can expect a watch-along stream for that very show. And of course, the Owen Hart Foundation tournament starts at Double or Nothing. But before we get there, let's go ahead and talk about Honor, for Honor is real. But before we do that, it looks like producer man decided to be a little bit cheeky, bastard. Caught me off guard, and apparently he has put the conversation in the description. So let's go ahead and first talk about Ring of Honor. As Ring of Honor, of course, happened last night, they had their Supercard of Honor. The major change was Dutton Castle and the boys won the Ring of Honor 6-member tag team championships. The conglomeration saved them post-match. An incredible night of pure wrestling, as of course we had 3 pure matches. And we're live, pal. You're dropping the ball. Botch. But we still appreciate the Mega Wrestling JJ.
You made me so confused for a whole last 10 seconds there, JJ.
I wonder if you knew that was the Seinfeld thing, because you remember the Seinfeld used to have like the freeze frame where it's like, and now we're going to talk about nothing.
God damn it.
All right, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get back into our regular conversation. So yeah, we're giving our Supercard of Honor. Dion Purrazzo trapped the arms and tried to break Diamante's arms behind her back. Venus de Milo. Najee McGinnis still has the goods as tradition goes with the pure rules. He was able to outlast Josh Woods. Red Velvet really pushed Viva Van to show how much she wanted to be a champion. And Viva Van came that damn close, but the Hellbent Vixen just came short of heaven as once again Red Velvet was able to hit some Australia Mama's Kitchen and stir up a recipe for success. Dungsula Mark Davis is really trying to show what he can be as a singles competitor and singles champion. Strong match against Swala, of course, for the AEW National Championship. still the national champion. Blackheart Leo Rush, who left the crew high and dry, as Action Andretti confirmed the crew is done after Action Andretti cost Leo Rush in a way against A.R. Fox, his first successful defense of the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. Ace Austin, Lee Moriarty renewing close to 10 years of history in their third ever singles encounter, both men 1-1. Lee Moriarty winning the same way with the bridging pin with ropes for leverage, as of course our ropes were exhausted, so of course it was legal. Same way he won the very title, still holds on to the Ring of Honor Championship. Very great neutral belt for Ace Austin's first ever Ring of Honor Pure Rules match. Can't say enough good things about Bandito. One-arm bandit, one-legged bandit, you tell me, still the most wanted, still the most resilient, but Vanilla Ice Baby, not the rapper, Blake Christian, game plan, and he came this close, but a mat-based 21 plex with 1 foot for level on the bridge somehow, some way. Bandito retained, but his Owen Hart Foundation tournament left him with a very painful message for house call, invading Bandito's house, where for all we know, he might try to make it his own. As of course, it's the most dangerous versus the most wanted in one of the opening round matches of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. And truly is forever what is defined in the dictionary, is forever, forever. With Athena, you might as well put the two together. Somehow, some way, making history again in the first ever women's survival of the fittest. That's a 6-way elimination match, folks, down to the last 2. And Billy despondent, don't blame her. Athena outlasted the field, and with the biggest old face ever off a ladder, Athena retained the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship, in part with Billy Starr, showing her no credit, even using it as a stepping stone at one point on the ladder. Billy, you graduated from college, but you still flunked Ring of Honor, and this was your grand opportunity. I don't know if anyone's going to believe in you anymore if you can be the actual champion. I pray one day you can prove us all wrong, but I'm going to point out Riff and say, highly unlikely in all likelihood. Regardless, it was a great 4-hour spectacle of professional wrestling that Ring of Honor only can deliver, as once again they proved Honor is real and basically set up our entire collision where Red Velvet took on William Nightingale for the TBS Championship, hashtag spoiler free, and Darby Allin defended the AEW World Championship, the greatest championship run of the damnedest I've ever seen in my life for a World Championship, this time against Sammy Guevara. And as I told you with the Divine Dominion's 5-minute open eliminator challenge, Kaya McKenna and Alley Catch were on the opposite side of the banner. Go see how well they survived to hang out or how well they lasted the clock. And in a nutshell, that was the entirety of Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. I thoroughly love the show. First pay-per-view of Ring of Honor's calendar for 2026. Supercard always sets a high benchmark when it comes to the unexpected in Ring of Honor. Speaking of which, the OGK returned, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, who have called out Alex Price and, of course, Jordan Oliver, Buster and the Brain, as both teams set their sights on the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. It could be an impromptu number contenders match, honestly, if you want to think about it that way. So stay tuned. Other than that, that was Supercard of Honor. Phenomenal wrestling show. Highly recommended. $9.99 Honor Club. Go watch it, folks. Honor is real. 8 championship matches, 3 Pure Rules matches, 3 women's championship matches. And it was just a great flow and an incredibly competitive, fun night that definitely kept me invested. Thank you, by the way, to the near 500 of you that watched that special watch along last night, too, as you all continue to make it possible. And for your comments, like Sandy, y'all are very nice, but it's not about me, it's about wrestling. Charles, that being said, what are your takeaways with Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor? Did you check out the show? Did you check out the watch along? You know the results as of now. What do you think with the fact that Bandito and Athena particularly still hold the world championships?
Okay, is Athena ever going to lose that title? I do not expect her now to advance further in the Owen tournament now. Because of her keeping the title.
Okay.
I just see it happening now.
Just got no faith in it, basically, right now.
Billy Starr is my only hope, but that went out the window multiple times.
Damn. Just dropped like a bad habit, basically.
Yeah. I hate saying that, but it's ridiculous.
1,230 plus days, approaching Roman Reigns territory of successful longevity in a single run, with more than triple the defenses that Roman Reigns had under general championship matches, with the fact that she has now defended over 30 times and proved it about the same amount, if not more. 70 plus successful defenses and preservations of the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship, with only one proving ground going to a draw. And ironically enough, the girl that did it was the greatest student, Maya World, and she was the last one that she pinned in Survivor of the Fittest to hold on to the championship.
Yeah, that's even made it crazier.
Well,
and aside that, Bandito keeping the title, that is great. Swerve showing up, I'm happy for that.
Who's house?
Exactly. So I enjoy the whole show when I can.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully you enjoy, and of course, enjoying company and enjoying what we do here. She's yours, she's mine, she's our Canadian friend, Ash. That's actually elegant and not fake. Hello, Ash. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. I just finally finished up the game of Monopoly I was having with my mom.
Did you win?
I did. Nickel and
I love
diamond
how you
with the
just had to say
railroad.
that.
This just in. Ash and the Simple Man will face each other in Monopoly, and I will destroy her. Stay tuned here at the Simple Alpha Studios when Simple Alpha Gaming levels up. I kid. But again, when my competitive side comes out, players is on and the kindness fucks off. That being said, you know, I gotta be a little bit of a competitive player. And there's your greatest fan, by the way, in the chat as well. With that being said, Ash, did you check out any of Supercard of Honor at all, or heard any of the highlights as far as the recap goes? Again, your boy, your mate, Najee McGinnis, he was able once again to prove that he still can thrive under pure rules, leaving his ambitions very much alive to go after the Ring of Honor Pure Championship.
I have not watched Supercard of Honor, but it's good to know that my favorite part of Collision is still has it going.
All right, then.
Yeah, and if you were to ask me, like, hey, what's your favorite part of Collision? It's hearing Nigel McGuinness on commentary.
Of course. I mean, again, if not in the ring, we're going to hear the man on commentary with Tony Schiavone, but with all the one-liners that he can give him. All right. Fair enough. Well, that being said, again, folks, honor is real. Thank you all for tuning in. He's the worst. No, he's not. He's on the Mount Rushmore, Japan. Respect the man. He should have his own monument. Gino, what are you doing here? Anyway, freaking hell. A little tiny. Of course, the best Super Juniors is going on right now, so we'll definitely transition to that. But before we get there, again, I want to give a shout out to Walter Cruz and, of course, Stepboy Mike, who are covering MVP MMA as they get closer and closer to the main event fight. We want to put our predictions in real quick, as, of course, we are simulcast. We can go ahead and do that. That's Ronda Rousey, her final fight, her dream fight against Gina Carano, who, of course, inspired her to not only get involved in this sport, but even get back into it one time. Both women have their own story of redemption. One fight, one last time. Fuck the world if you all think otherwise. Do we want to give a quick prediction real quick, as we haven't seen that fight yet, apparently, according to the feed I just checked out for a split second, and put out a winner. Charles, I'll start with you. Do you got Ronda Rousey or you got Gina Carano knocking her the fuck out?
Gina, I have my mic muted. Long day. I'm going with Gina.
Right. Going with Gina? I feel like that's one of the contingencies here. Ash, do you have anything you want to say regarding Ronda Rousey's and Gina Carano's MMA fight coming up here, the main event of Netflix MVP? Do you want to put out a thought towards the winner?
I'm not that good, and I'm not well versed in and I don't really watch MMA, but I hope that this is a really good fight, especially if this is Ronda Rousey's last fight. I hope it's a good one to go out on.
Yeah, I just hope that both women go out the way that they want, get everything that they can from this. And as an advocate, of course, mental health, I just hope that they get everything they want in the end, because it sounds like both women are going to be truly done with the sport in ring after this ends. So we will see what happens. It looks like Nick Ferrante is also, by the way, is involved in the chat, the other half of the Canadian Connection. Christopher Lecure going with Ronda Rousey, and again, to be continued. And it looks like JJ will join us here shortly. So that might make me have an easy time here because I am tired as fuck.
Well, after earlier, we didn't have anything to talk about.
Oh, you should have seen it, Ash. I left Charles by himself when I pulled up freaking It's a Show About Nothing and came back from the feed. I basically was like, hey, y'all want to know what the agenda is? The agenda? We literally are doing a show tonight. A show about nothing.
Oh, no.
Okay, let's go ahead and get back to our regularly scheduled program here. So that being said, I don't care that gets copyright strike. I mean, literally. And I thought it was in
Still live.
Oh well, let's go ahead.
We're still live.
Here.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah, of course, we're still live. Maybe one day when he learns how to use Facebook, he'll actually see the link. Anyway, whoops. Let's go ahead and continue our conversation from here. I pull nothing here, okay? I give zero fucks if people fuck up. All right? Shoot, I'm the guy that's manning this freaking ship for now until JJ finally comes in here and I could freaking GTS because I am tired as fuck. But I'm not tired of talking about AEW anytime, any day, anywhere, with anybody, if I can or if I choose. So let's go ahead and transition now and talk about the Owen Hart Foundation. Oh, you should be in the group chat, and that's your problem then. It's in the group chat. The Owen Hart Foundation Tournament! Once again, that annual tradition here in AEW. It is the 5th Owen Hart Foundation Tournament. Of course, our first winner is Dr. Baker, DMD, and Adam Cole. Baby, Absolute, Ricka Starks, and of course, Phil Nightingale, Brian Danielson, Heyman and Page, and of course, Mariah May, as well as, of course, last year's Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament winner, Mercedes Monet. Let's go ahead and talk about the bracket. There you see it, folks. For those that don't know, the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament will start at Double or Nothing. Those two matches will be part of the Double or Nothing card. It will go through Double or Nothing season AEW up to Forbidden Door, where Forbidden Door will have the finals. That night, the winners of the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament will be crowned, and the winners will go on to challenge respectively for the AEW Men's and Women's World Championships at All In Wembley Stadium. So let's go ahead, break down the brackets, and take a look at what we got. First time ever matchups here, including, as I talked about before, cause and effect. Swerve, Stringer, Bandito have never faced her one-on-one. Swerve, though, has set his sights on the most wanted. The most dangerous versus the most wanted. How poetic. And we've already seen him take a bite out of the Ring of Honor World Champion at Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor, hitting not one but two house calls and a cop killer on a standing still chair to Bandito. He's going to be anything less than 100%. I guarantee you that. Not to mention the damage Blake Christian did to his leg. Claudio Castagnoli, Brody King renewing hostilities. If you have watched their epic rivalry all the way through the Continental Classic, this is a CC2 rematch. Will Ospreay has been warned by Samoa Joe, as Will Ospreay is right now being turned into a more dangerous adversary for his longevity, according to John Moxley and the Death Riders training and mentality. As we saw this past Wednesday, Will Ospreay was backed up by the Death Riders ahead of Samoa Joe delivering a very painful pre-match threat at the hands of the Ops. So Samoa Joe and Will Ospreay will finally go one-on-one in the openings. And Mark Davis, who took the AEW National Championship from Jungle Jack Perry, of course, he will be challenging Jack Perry in the opening rounds. Could be Jack Perry's chance to try and get a rematch. Again, folks, as I said, literally the winner of this tournament goes on to Wembley Stadium to challenge for the AEW Men's World Championship, currently held by Darby Allin. Or could it be MJF? Bald. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this bracket. What we think about it? Are we underwhelmed by it? Are we surprised by who we see in it? Would we have changed anything about it? Charles, I'm going to go ahead and start with you here on your shoddy hotel Wi-Fi. What do you guys say regarding this year's Men's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament? And you don't have to pick a winner if you don't want to, bruv. But go ahead and lend some early thoughts on who you think is advancing.
One, I expect this to be a Forbidden Door rematch with Swerve and Will in the finals. That is the only way I see this tournament going. But I also will question one thing.
And what was that?
Why on earth wasn't Mox in this tournament? instead of Claudio. Because if Mox was in the
champion.
But yeah, we have the AEW national champion in this.
It's true, but you almost wonder, though, does Jon Moxley need to be in this? Does he want to be in this? Plus, with what he's been doing with Will Ospreay, is he trying to turn Will Ospreay into, that weapon for him to use in this case? I think there's definitely a method to the madness as the proper goes. Please continue.
Well, I was going to say, if Mox was in this, that would have been your finals instead. Mox versus Will beating Mox for the final, completion of that test. But now, since it's Claudio, I expect it to be Swerve and Ospreay. And Ospreay's winning this whole thing.
You got no other sense for anybody in here winning this tournament at all. It's just straight up bruv. Would you be upset if anyone else won this tournament at all? Would you have a runner-up? Do you have like a dark horse?
Well, the only runner-up I could think of is Swerve.
Okay, fair enough. Actually brings a compelling case. Of course, at one point, it was for Strickland and Will Ospreay for the AEW Men's World Championship at Forbidden Door in the main event. And since Will Ospreay's been disciplined now by Death Riders training and it's currently being kind of supported by them, it seems. Although, again, he says, I'll never be a Death Rider. I'm United Empire for life. And again, Forbidden Door season does involve New Japan Pro Wrestling, as you also see CMLL and Stardom. Talk more about that in the women's zone in a moment. But it's also one of those things where I look at, do we really need Mark Davis and Jungle Jet Perry for the up team's time in here? I kind of was hoping for Mystical or somebody from New Japan, not in the best of juniors right now, that's currently going on. And Ash will then her baddie thoughts towards that. She wants to maybe pick her winner, although I'm pretty sure what Young Puck she's going to pick, but that's a whole different conversation. And it's also one of those things where it's like, Claudio Castagnoli is such a tournament player. It's almost like if there's a tournament, you need him in it. But how many times do we need to see Claudio in a tournament if he's not going to win it? I'm just saying. And Samoa Joe, to his credit, he is one of the finalists, of course, in the very first Owen Hart Foundation tournament. So his spot is justified. But Ash, what do you think? Is that a bygone conclusion, especially with Ospreay being a runner-up in last year's Owen Hart Foundation tournament, where he lost to the Heyman? You and I, of course, called that the conclusion of Double Nothing last year. Lend your thoughts towards this bracket and land your winner if you choose. Go for it.
So we are under the impression that Will Ospreay is going to win the tournament, but they could, no pun intended, swerve us possibly, because Swerve Strickland and Darby Allin do have his. If Darby does retain at Double or Nothing. Also, Swerve also has history with MJF if MJF does beat Darby at Double or Nothing. So, like, no matter who has like the title, if it's Ospreay, he has history with both, or it could be like for a first-time matchup, because I don't think Ospreay and Darby had a match against each other. But
you would be correct.
But Swerve has history with not just MJF, but also Darby that they can play off as well. And you look at these other matches, there are feud and contender potential. Like Mark Davis and Jack Perry, they could pick up with where they left off with the international title. That is, if Ricochet doesn't get involved and end up costing Jack Perry. And also on the other side of things with Swerve and Bandito, if Swerve wins, who's to say he can't go after Bandito, who's ROH champion? He still is ROH champion, right?
Yes, Bandito is still ROH World Champion. And to Charles' point, let's not forget one of the biggest upsets of one of the Continental Classics. Darby Allin did beat Will Ospreay. And to your point, the beauty that I love about AEW more than I'm just going to call it is the Fed Championships right now, no matter who is champion, there is a polarizing dynamic that works on both sides, and that could be also reflect in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament on multiple fronts. Please continue.
There's a possibility that if Bandito does beat Swerve and he faces off Claudio, if Claudio beats Bandito, he could be in contender for the title once again. And also, if Bandito beats Claudio, that gives added star power to Bandito, because not only is Bandito an ROH champion, but it cements him as an ROH champion by beating a former ROH champion, because a lot of people forget Claudio was ROH champion at one point.
That's very true. And you could get Bandito and Claudio here. That's absolutely true. You also could get Brodito facing each other one-on-one. Very fair point.
Ooh, that I wouldn't mind that, actually. Like Brody King versus Bandito, that would be pretty cool. And if Brody King does beat Bandito, who's to say he's not next in line for ROH champion? So there's even though it's like a lot of foregone conclusion that Ospreay or Swerve's going to win, they're building towards contenders for these possible North American national champion and for the ROH title, which is, oh my God, storylines in a tournament. What? Oh my God, that's so crazy. It's wrestling.
Damn
That's
it.
what I love about tournaments, the storyline beats, and I'm getting this with the men's tournament. Oh my God, I can't wait for this shit. I can't wait for it. I love tournaments, even though I have a really hard time keeping up with them.
Oh, you think, young bat? We've talked about this on multiple occasions. Your girl got priorities, and again, we love and respect it, but call it as we see, at least she confesses to it. And again, folks, maybe she will join us some of these nights, whether it's Wednesdays or Saturdays, because again, we will be covering the Owen Hart Foundation tournament in full.
Also, I want to mention, I might not be able to join the podcasting as much as I used to because my retail job that I have.
Yes, my friend.
I got recently hired as an assistant manager.
Hey, congratulations! Bigger priorities over their passions with bigger opportunities ahead that only mean more professional and financial growth. Extremely proud of you. Congratulations.
Yeah, my training starts in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited.
Well, on behalf of Simo Studios, we're all very happy and proud for you and wish you nothing but the continued best. And again, you're always part of the family. There's a reason why I'm in the proverbial hot seat when JJ is always trying to push forward his priorities in life, and I couldn't be more prouder of him or anyone here, as I just celebrated 15 years of my job at IT, but boy, did my situation change when it comes to working in the building. But anyway, congrats, Ash, and again, everyone's very happy for you also in the chat. But that being said, you pretty much got the Bruv or Swerve as your top winners in this tournament, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I echo all the same sentiments, although Mark Davis and Samoa Joe, that'd be a real meaty fest. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I feel it's a foregone conclusion that Jungle Jack Perry, though, is going to advance because, again, they're always going to do that 50-50 booking dynamic, and it opens the opportunities for Jack Perry to maybe challenge for this title. And I also want to point this out, by the way. Notice that match is not double or nothing because both those men are involved in the damnedest. Stamp Stampede the date, 7-on-7, unless we forget. Let's keep that in mind. Swerve Strickland and Bandito truly could go either way. It's a first-time ever one-on-one matchup in their respective careers. There's no previous history. Samoa Joe, all takes Coquina Clutch, and Will Ospreay will be going night-night if he gets his hands around his damn neck. But as we saw, Will Ospreay, I think that was his very first ever submission win. He knows how to get technical now, too, thanks to the Death Riders training in Death Jitsu under John Moxley. So again, how much more dangerous is Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe, who's known to kill you? Carl Casnoy, Brody King, instant classic every time. It's a meat-on-meat fest of violence, power, and two of the most dynamic, complete wrestlers on the entire WWE roster that are tournament experts in participation and performing, not so much in winning. So, again, I'm really hoping for big things, maybe particularly for Brody King, who's been setting his sights on singles gold this year, while Claudio's already had that opportunity, and to your point, has already had that run as the Ring of Honor World Champion. Either way, though, I'm extremely excited to call this tournament, extremely excited for this year's Owen, and extremely excited to call these two matches next week at Double or Nothing. Stay tuned, folks, for that call, by the way, as, of course, I will be on that call. And again, good luck to everybody this year. We'll see who punches their ticket at Forbidden Door and opens the door to Wembley Stadium. And with that being said, that takes us from the men and ladies first. We now go to, and I'm just going to say this for the record, this is the best damn women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament I've seen yet because I love the dynamics I'm seeing for first-time matches, and I love who's involved in it. Ladies and gentlemen, your women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament with CMLL and Stardom involvement. Wild Heart Hazuki takes on the goddess of the underworld, current CMLL Women's World Champion, Persephone. By the way, Persephone and Saray are currently dealing with injuries. Their tournaments will be later on in the season ahead of Forbidden Door. They are not removed. They are, and they will be available to perform. Stay tuned. Speaking of which, Saray, the Sun God, former not only Marigold World Champion, but also former IWG Women's World Champion, she goes one-on-one against Sky Blue. We'll see if Sky Blue can block out the sun with her darkness as part of the Triangle of Madness. in her first chance in the Owen Hart Women's Foundation tournament. As, of course, we've seen the growth of the Triangle Madness this year and running roughshod over the AEW Women's roster. But this is one of the most lethal, complete, top 10 women wrestlers on the planet, period. Good luck is all I gotta say. Mina Shirakawa, we all want Mina. It is a Ring of Honor Women's World Championship rematch as Athena, oh boy, is in the opening rounds. Let's not forget, though, as Athena pointed out, she does not do great in AEW. She gets the opportunities, but she's been unable to capitalize. If there's one flaw in Athena's forever armor, outside Ring of Honor, she is beatable. She is vulnerable. We see it in New Japan. We see it in AEW. Can Mina give us the upset of a lifetime and beat the fallen goddess? And, of course, the smiling face of TBS, as we know, unless you watch Collision, unless they decide to change there. Again, may hashtag spoiler free. If you spoil, I will ban you, and that's not a threat. That is a promise. Windsor! Alex Windsor, of course, the NWA Strong Women's Champion, a title that Will Nightingale is very familiar with, will take on Will Nightingale for the first time ever, one-on-one. And that is your Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament bracket, where either Thekla, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, or Hikaru Shida could be waiting for them at Wembley Stadium. Oh, the interwoven ties that could be here, especially with the fact that at Double or Nothing, we will have, as I said, those 4 women in a fatal 4-way for the AEW Women's World Championship. I want to put this in perspective. Thekla, who came in after Double or Nothing, the dynamite after Double or Nothing, clocked Jamie Hayter. The rest is history. Does she go in probably 1 year later, just underneath 1 year later, and lose that very title and be completely removed from the picture? You have, of course, Chris Statlander, who came back at Double or Nothing and won gold. Can she once again win gold here? And can she do it in a fatal 4-way where she won the AEW Women's World Championship last year, might I add, at AEW All Out that Nick saw live? Jamie Hayter, of course, she lost the AEW Women's World Championship at Double or Nothing due to injury. Now she has a golden opportunity to finally get that title back at the very stage she lost it years later. And Hikaru Shida, she, of course, won the title in front of practically nobody at Double or Nothing 2020 in her very first run at the expense of the native beast, Nyla Rose. All 4 of those names, all of them incredible world champions, the current and the past. Any of these women with interwoven ties of style could face any of these women at freaking Wembley Stadium. So that being said, Ash, let's go ahead and get your baddie thoughts. It's time for some more baddie bracket breakdown. Go ahead and break down this Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Who do you have as your dark horse? Who do you see winning? And who could you see on the other side of the AEW Women's World Championship marquee? Go ahead, pal. Have fun with this.
Whereas on the men's side of things, it seems like a foregone conclusion about like the 2 likely possibilities. For this tournament, it is so unpredictable. Like I love it. You can make a case for either woman winning, because he also, much like on the men's side of things, you also got TBS title contenders being built up for Willow, and you also got ROH title contenders building up for Athena as well. And I also love how not only do we have like AEW women, but there's also Stardom people, ROH, and CMLL.
Yep.
Yeah, CMLL. Jesus.
Yes, you got it. You got the list. Also, stay tuned, folks. Global Wars, Ring of Honor in Cincinnati, my neck of the woods. We will be covering that as well. And this time, it's ROH, CMLL, and Stardom. Go ahead, Ash.
Yeah, I'm looking at the brackets, and because even though like Athena doesn't do well in this tournament, that could be like a good redemption story for her. I can see Athena at least making finals, just not winning the tournament. Although if she does win, that'd be quite the pleasant surprise. I also see Alex Windsor going really far into it. I was like beating Willow Nightingale could also give her a TBS title contention as well.
Well, Nightingale is the defending champion, though, of the Owen Hart Women's Foundation tournament. Let's not forget, she's won this before.
Yeah, and for the other, I'm looking forward to see how well they do in the tournament. Because has Sky Blue ever been in the Owen Hart tournament before?
I cannot recall. I believe she has been. I'm pretty sure Jamie Hayter took her head off.
Okay. Yeah, I see the finals being Athena versus Alex, and I think Windsor takes it.
Interesting. Well,
so we got
wouldn't that be crazy? Mr. and Mrs. Brawl.
Right? Just like how in the first tournament, Mr. and Mrs. Bebe won.
That's a fair shout. All right. Well, I just want to put this in perspective, though. Athena called herself the Joshi Killer. She never beat Suri, of course, for the IWGP Women's Championship. She's facing, if she gets through Mina, because I always want to put Mina as a possibility, because I want to see Mina succeed. Athena could be taking on someone just as lethal, but not more lethal, in Saray, who rarely ever loses.
Mm-hmm. That could be
Sky Blue chokes Saray out, though. The possibilities of upsets here, though, is ridiculous as well. I just want to put that out there, too.
It also adds to the unpredictability-ness of a tournament. Because when you go into a tournament...
What a crazy concept.
I know, right? That's what I like about this tournament. It's unpredictable. You never know which direction it's going to be. And sometimes that's not always a bad thing, especially in tournaments.
Especially when it's about the better wrestler winning and not a vote on just great performance. Continue.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to this tournament as well, and I can't wait to see what the finals would be like.
Can we just get to the Double or Nothing already so I can cover Will Nigo now it's Wednesday and just get this fucking tournament underway? Windsor versus Persephone, Windsor versus Suzuki, Willow versus Suzuki, Athena versus Saray, Sky Blue versus Mina, Sky Blue versus Athena. I'm just ready for this fucking tournament. I have not been this excited for a tournament, non-round robin, in my ad, in a long damn time. This is one of the best broadcasts I've ever seen out of the and I cannot wait for this. Let's fucking go. Charles, Len, your thoughts. What do you guys say towards this? Who's your potential final on both sides? And who do you have winning? And what match you looking forward to? Who's your dark horse? Go ahead. Break it down.
This women's one is so crazy. It's not even funny. I expect Willow to make it all the way to the end. Athena, same thing. But I expect
would be a Ring of Honor, Death for Dishonor rematch. Of course, they made history being the women in main event, a Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and Willow, of course, is one of the main victims of Athena. So I can see what you mean. Continue.
And yeah, Willow's winning this thing.
Oh, you got Willow making history as a 2-time winner?
Yes. But I'm also really curious about. I expect probably Fucker to, Double or Nothing, but I don't expect Fucker to walk in at all in his champion. It might be something completely different.
Well, we got to get through Forbidden Door as well, and Fekla already has invaded her old stomping grounds, where she tried to assault the president at the Stardom show that I covered that came from Las Vegas. No love lost there with Toru Okada. So, I mean, I definitely expect Fekla to have a very threatening opponent if she survives the 4-way at Double or Nothing. Remember, in 4 ways, Tim not to be involved in the decision. Continue.
That is true. So either way, I expect Willow to win this. It's just curious of who will be the champion going into All In.
Well, I mean, let's look at the championship dynamics. Mina Shirakawa right now is blaming Chris Statlander for the assault on Timeless Tony Storm. And Statlander's been the most silent about this situation, pretty much not giving a damn about it. In fact, she's kind of been the silent Cosmic Killer since losing the AEW Women's World Championship in the 2 out of 3 Falls rematch to Fekla back at Revolution. Jamie Hayter, as I said, she was denied the title at Double or Nothing. If she gets it back, you also might see Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter brawl one-on-one, 2 proud Brits, a rematch from Pro Wrestling Eve, possibly when we stand for the AEW Women's World Championship. Hikaru Shida, of course, who was also part of a fatal 4-way at All In, of course, lost the title that night. It's one of those things that Hikaru Shida could walk into All In as a champion. She might face Mina again. She might face Suzuki, 2 different Japanese strong styles going at it. And Willow Nightingale, many people have been waiting for her to become the AEW Women's World Champion. Could it be at the expense of her friend? Could it be at the expense of Shida? There's so many different dynamics here. And Fekla, again, who has taken so damn easily to AEW and the United States wrestling scene, fucking ridiculous. If she goes into Wembley Stadium at All In, any of these stupid bitches that she calls them could try and clock her. Hell, her and Hazuki have history in Stardom. And Persephone and Fekla, they were the final 2 in the CMLL Grand Prix last year, where Persephone won. So again, it's just crazy to think the different dynamics cause an effect on both this tournament and the Fatal 4-Way alone at Double or Nothing. Cannot fully tell the tale of this Women's Own Heart Foundation tournament. It's incredible. Speaking of telling the tale, let's go ahead and see if this man puts you into bed early, because it might be story time with Regular Wrestling JJ Williams, because he might do some long-term story time. Versus Bracket Breakdown, this might be Fantasy Booking Hour. as I welcome in the regular wrestling JJ Williams to the scene to give his thoughts towards this, let's go ahead and bring JJ in. JJ, how are you this evening?
I'm tired.
And that makes 4 of us.
Same.
Welcome to the club.
I have been up since 5:30 in the morning.
Let's just call it what it is, okay? If we're not KO'd before Walter Cruz and Stat Boy Mike, I'll be shocked. This might be the shortest dish of shenanigans yet, and I would not be any problem with that. Anyway, JJ, you tired, we tired, all tired, Nick's tired, but I know you're not tired of women's wrestling. So in your semi-comatose state, please lend your thoughts on the Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament based on what you've seen, what you heard, and what the bracket is. Go ahead, brother.
Well, right out the gate, I've heard that Hazuki is injured and may be pulled. I don't know if there's any truth to that rumor, but it's something that's floating around. Which means that if Hazuki gets pulled, she will be replaced. Who will she be replaced by? More than likely, a certain CEO.
Bold take, but not too far-fetched.
I think the outcome of the women's title at Double or Nothing could play a huge factor into this.
Oh, I completely agree.
Because to your point, if Jamie Hayter wins, I'd kind of like to see Windsor versus Hayter.
The Birds brawl.
At Wembley, on that huge stage. Odds of it, probably slim.
Considering what we're thinking about the Birds maybe doing at Wembley Stadium together, because they're undefeated as a tag team, not too far off. Continue, JJ.
To the point that I heard Charles make earlier, I seriously doubt Athena's winning this tournament. She's still Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
Right.
If she had lost the title last night, I could have seen her winning this tournament and possibly getting the title.
She also has a pinfall victory over Thekla. She's being her one-on-one.
Sadly, and this is no disrespect to the international talent, but you can pretty much eliminate Persephone and Suri. Neither one of them is going to win. They're there just for the partnership. Look at what we can do. We can use talent from our partners to put over our regulars. Other than out of these women, Willow for a two-timer, the one that I could see benefiting the most is Mina. Mina's been on this quest to find out who attacked Toni Storm.
Mm-hmm.
What if it was Thekla and the Triangle of Madness? And you have Mina defeat Sky Blue in the semis. There's one of the Triangle. The title from Thekla. There's the other in the Triangle. Unfortunately, Julia Hart isn't in this unless you replace Hazuki with her so Mina can defeat her in the finals.
For all we know, though, Julia Hart might just support her fellow sister of sin through this tournament, though, JJ.
True. But how many people would like to see Sky Blue versus Julia Hart in the finals to see who's going to challenge Thekla? I don't think it'll happen. But, you know, I mean, it's a scenario.
It's food for thought. I hear you. Continue. Okay. Again, I love the fact that there are so many different polar. No. Rare. Roll. I think JJ is re-rolling.
No, I'm not. I'm good.
Oh, okay. Continue. I was about to do a skit there. Continue. Whoa.
Like I said, I think whoever replaces Hazuki is going to win. And I think it's a certain CEO.
Well, Mercedes Monet hasn't been seen, to your point, though, since losing all 13 of her belts. The last time we saw her, of course, in AEW, Willow Nightingale beat her at New Year's Smash to win the TBS championship. And many people have been waiting for Willow Nightingale, you included, of course, to become the AEW Women's World Champion. So I definitely see what you mean there. But either way, good luck to all the women involved in this year's most dynamic, in my opinion, Owen Hart Foundation tournament. That being said, before we take our first, maybe only commercial break, because we are all welcome to the tired as fuck edition of Shenanigans. JJ, anything you want to say regarding the men, or do you just want to say bruv?
Sorry, I thought you were going to bring in the other person, so I started eating.
Yeah, I guess I can do that now. We fooled with him enough. Ladies and gentlemen, the other half of the Canadian Connection. Let's see if he actually gets his shit together. I don't expect that. Nick is here. Hello, Nick.
I'm tired.
Okay, good. So we're all on the same page. Anyway, Nick, welcome to the Shenanigans.
But to your point, your question, I think Will is winning this.
Bruv.
I think that goes without saying.
Will we be shocked if Will Ospreay wasn't the winner somehow? And will we be shocked it was due to either his Brothers United Empire or Jon Moxley turning on him? Is there still revenge maybe deep in the recesses of Will Ospreay's mind? That remains to be seen. And again, Jon Moxley is the Continental Champion. Kyle O'Reilly, by the way, has already called him out. He wants that title. Let's not forget, Kyle O'Reilly made Jon Moxley tap out twice. But it also did involve Kyle O'Reilly suffering some legit injuries and also dealing with a lot of mental struggles, too, including a passing of a family member. I'm just glad to see Kyle O'Reilly back. And Mark Briscoe back, for that matter. And also, I'm glad to see that Nick's back here. So, Nick, let's go ahead and lend your thoughts on the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Good to finally have you here, part of the Shenanigans, bruv. Lend your thoughts, either on the men or the women, and then we'll go into our first, maybe only commercial break. And go ahead and tell the people how you're doing and what's on the menu, if you want to.
The menu is very light tonight.
Warm milk?
Yeah, something
Good
like
choice.
that.
Yeah, good choice.
The men's bracket. The men's bracket is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, the way that the bracket is shaped up to be, it's predictable. I mean, because on the one side, realistically, you're gonna have Swerve run through Bandito, and then you're gonna have a Bandito Brody King final, right? Like it predictable in that outcome because I don't see Claudio beating Brody. And then the other side, I mean, just look at the bracket. Again, it's self-explanatory, right? It's, Will would win the Samoa Joe match, and then Will has to go up against Mark Davis, the guy who he lost to due to referee stoppage. So, I mean, it just plays out as it should. Now, I don't think Will is winning this. And the reason why I don't think Will is winning this is because we still have a pay-per-view in July. If we have a pay-per-view in July.
Yeah,
right?
You can always keep that word in mind. Continue.
Because if we do have the pay-per-view in July and apropos it is named Redemption, I can see a heel winning it and then somehow, or be through some story, be that heel, whether it be most likely Swerve, puts up that Wembley title shot against Ospreay, and then you run it back, right? Like, I mean, if we get that July pay-per-view. But I mean, if not, yes, I see Will winning this. Now the women bracket. This is fucking dumb. And the reason why this is dumb is because why are we having, and listen, it's no offense to them or to these women, But if I'm having a Owen Hart tournament, why do I have Hazuki and Suri in this tournament along with Persephone? Like, that makes absolute no sense when you have people on the roster. So you're telling me right now that you can have Persephone, Hazuki, and Suri in the Owen Hart tournament, but we can't have Queen Aminata, we can't have Camille, and we can't have Deonna Purrazzo in this. Like, make it make sense. Like, I don't understand why we're not putting non-AEW contracted talent into an Owen Hart tournament when they have no right and no business even being in this tournament. So
I like to call it wild cards, but I do see what you mean.
Okay, you want to use a wild card. Where's Britt?
Well, Britt's been MIA for the longest time, and I don't even consider her name anymore. And for all I know, she may not consider this anymore. Between her friend being sick with a terminal disease, between what I've heard about her being threatened, not only in her wrestling, but her actual profession, she needs to protect herself right now. So again, that's a little different conversation.
But my point still remains. Why is there, like, if I'm Camille, not only am I pissed off at the fact that I've been treated so far since I've been here, but why the fuck why is Persephone, and again, no disrespect to Persephone, but why is Persephone in this? If I'm Camille, why is Persephone in this and I'm not?
Well, Persephone is a newer signing this year, dual contracted.
Irrelevant. She's not a signed AEW talent. She's a dual contracted talent. But her first Persephone, I'm just saying in general, like, I don't need Hazuki and I don't need Saray in here. So hopefully, I think the women's bracket is an absolute, I think it's the weaker of most.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, if they're not, and then again, all of these people are in this tournament. So where's Monet in all this? Like, how does, at the end of the day, Monet, if it's led to believe that she is the top women in this division, you're telling me she's not going to defend her Owen Hart tournament championship in this tournament to just make that downward spiral even worse? Like, the women's bracket just doesn't make sense to me, and to be honest, it's nobody in there I care about right now to see them in the world title picture.
Well, I appreciate the fact you do have a different take, and again, to everyone their own flavor. But I definitely think that a couple of these women who I want to see perform at Wembley are definitely worthy. But I figure it is, much to what JJ said, going to really be causing an effect on my outlook of this tournament when it comes to who do I see perform in Wembley, Mr. Bro? Basically, who leads with the AEW Women's World Championship. But again, I'm sure we'll talk about that more later down the road on the Shenanigans as this tournament unfolds. And again, folks, the tournament begins this coming weekend at Double or Nothing. And stay tuned. JJ, I did see your hand virtually up. What you got, Sarah, before I take our first and maybe only commercial break?
Just to piggyback on what Nick is saying here, let's throw Camille out the window because she's been dead on arrival since she signed.
Well, I mean, her comeback
Let's throw Britt Baker out of the window because she's in Guantanamo Bay, solitary confinement, not getting any kind of release for good behavior. Where's Harley Cameron? Where's Megan Bain?
Tag champion.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
We have the national champion and the Ring of Honor champion on the men's bracket.
We have the Ring of Honor world champion.
And over here we have the Ring of Honor women's champion, to the point, and the TBS champion. So I don't want to hear that as an excuse.
I'm not saying it as an excuse. I'm just saying what she is.
But to the point. Where's Lena Cross? Unless one of these international women is going to go to the finals, which, in the words of Aaron Rift, highly unlikely in all likelihood.
Right.
Since the finals is at Forbidden Door, and Forbidden Door is about interpromotional and all the partnerships.
Right.
There's no point in them being here.
This is the
to
first
Nick's
time
point.
I think this is the first time also that the Owens culminating at Forbidden Door. So I hope that actually is the case, particularly for the women. But yeah, I see what y'all mean. Again, I appreciate the takes. And again, there's only so many spots, but when you try and just at least be like, we work with Stardom, here's this person. We work with this, here's this person. For somebody, though, more recognized in the AEW scene, even challenged with Nightingale earlier this year for the TBS title. Again, there's always that thing, though, when it comes to like showcasing that's always considered in these tournaments. It feels like an AEW particularly. But at least in this one, I don't have a definitive name that I think can win it. And that's the beauty that I want in a tournament, if nothing else. And I honestly don't think none of these names are bad in the conversation, but it just really comes down to who I think is on the other side of the marquee as the other women's world champion. Nick, I see your hand. What you got to say real quick?
To just piggyback off of JJ, like like you're right in the sense of a showcase, but this is for a shot at the women's world title at All In. None of these women, especially this, like, again, I have to harp on, like, Willow, okay, I get it. We should not, I think we should not be having, again, if you're going to have Athena in this, if you're going to have Alex Windsor in this, and Willow, who are champions, again, if I'm the other women on the roster, I would be a little bit annoyed because it's like, well, where's my shot in all this? Like, why aren't I being put into a better position? Again, if I'm a woman like Deonna Purrazzo, who had a match last night at Supercard of Honor, who on arrival, she had a world title match and she lost it. And ever since then, she's been irrelevant on AEW proper. I'm a woman like that, or if I'm any woman leaving one company to come to AEW, I'm looking at this and this is just deterring me from even coming here because it's, what's the point? Like, I don't know. The Owen Hart shouldn't be to showcase women. It should be you put your, how many ever we have 8 women, your top 8 women in the company, and those 8 women should be duking it out for the opportunity to go to All In. Saray, Hazuki, and Persephone have done little to nothing. And to be quite frank and quite honest, when I look at half of these women, I see L's. I don't see that.
Of course, going to lose.
But that shouldn't be the case. You know what I mean? Like, again, I should be having the top 8 women on AEW.
You're still going to have 4 lose if it's the top 8 women.
But at least but then this makes the tournament so lackluster because, again, we know Saray is going to lose because she's not winning against Sky Blue. Between
timestamp this in case Nick's wrong.
Regardless, you know what I mean? I feel like the Owen Hart should be your top 8 women fighting in there, and this is actively, and people are going to think that this is negative, but this is actively doing the Owen Hart a disservice.
I don't think it's negative. I think it's just a fair assessment that you want to see the internal showcase of AEW strictly in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament versus half showcase, half internal. And again, a lot of those names, to your point, they are definitions of technical. I've been waiting for the longest time to see Deonna Purrazzo versus Serena Deeb at one point, whether pure rules or one-on-one, and that match has yet to happen. But I look at the fact that, hey, okay, showcase, Forbidden Door, Stardom, give a Stardom woman a chance. AEW recognizes Suzuki, AEW recognizes Persephone with CMLL. Of course, CMLL, AEW dual contracted. Major names, Mina, Sky Blue have been regulars on the AEW scene this year. Willow Nightingale, arguably one of the top 5 women in AEW. And Alex Windsor, who's proved far more than she's just Mrs. Bruff. Again, there's a lot of ways I see both sides of the coin. And at the end of the day, I look at the positive, not the negative. And at least with this tournament, I can respect most of the women in here having a game chance to challenge anybody at Wembley Stadium because I really don't have a definitive winner on the fatal 4-way either. for the AEW Women's World Championship, and I love that outlook. So at least the women, I got more of a different dynamic versus like Brother Nothing. So I do understand your criticism, Nick, and how critical you are for Tony Khan to showcase more of the internal growth of AEW, especially the women's roster. I say it is what it is. Take what you can get, enjoy it, or don't watch it. But again, it's slow growth, and if nothing else, at least the women are getting more opportunities, more time to showcase, and more of a dynamic of the roster, not named Britt Baker, Mercedes Moné, have been at the marquee. All right. With that being said, good luck to all 8 women and all 8 men in this year's Honor Foundation tournaments. And again, folks, stay tuned to our coverage of the entire tournament, and also stay tuned to our coverage of Double or Nothing. All right. Well, that was a great talk, and I'm looking forward towards all the aftermath of this, and then seeing how much Nick is right, wrong, how much we're right, we're wrong. If there's a WTF moment, I'm sure we'll see all that soon enough. With that being said, on this retired edition of the Saturday Shenanigans, we are now going to take a short intermission and bring forward what is to come ahead here at Zippo Studios Watch Along schedule, and then maybe wrap up unless we got anything else in our mind, or we'll go with Mike Night, maybe ask talk about Best of the Juniors, or maybe we'll talk about game shows, or maybe I'll bring up trivia. We'll see what the fuck this becomes besides a sleepover or a crash out on the other half of this commercial break. Please stay tuned. We will be right back.
And now for a taste of things to come.
What the fuck happened with the video? It crashed. All right. Well, that was awkward. Okay. Well, as always, as the short 22 seconds tell you here, wow, this really is the crash out edition of Saturday Shenanigans. We're all tired as fuck. Even the video player's tired as fuck. And it didn't even fuck anything. That being said, as always, since I'm a student, we truly encompass, embrace, celebrate, engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, and react to some of the wrestling in that trailer, but truly hear all the wrestling. And welcome back here to this we tired as fuck edition of Saturday Shenanigans. I've been your host for the shortest edition ever of the evening, Samantha Noel Foster. That being said, yeah, all the wrestling. Okay.
What just happened?
I have no fucking idea. The video crashed. It literally said your browser stopped playing it. So, beat down shrug. Okay. That being said, that was weird. Again, I want to point out this coming Wednesday, special 3-hour edition of AEW Dynamite Collision. That will be the go home, of course, in the Double or Nothing. Stay tuned again for City predicting 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Thursday night for Double or Nothing. Our coverage, of course, this weekend as we move forward, of course, and there's also more GCW down the line as well. JJ, you weren't here when we briefly spoke names. Ronda Rousey or Gina Carano. Go ahead, folks. Remember, still go watch That Boy Mike and Walter Cruz. They continue to be live covering MVP MMA. And I'm sure they'll lend your thoughts, of course, during their post show, or maybe some point down the line on their own thing on the sports bar, maybe next week, Saturday night. JJ, thoughts? Pick a name if you want. You got Gigi Carano or Ronda Rousey. What do you think? I mean, I don't know what else to do at this point. You're muted, brother.
I just messaged the boys, and the fight apparently only lasted 17 seconds.
Yep.
They're wrapping up and should be here shortly.
What?
Okay. Full disclosure, I don't know who won, so I am still going to pick blindly as if, you know. What I was saying to someone earlier today was, and maybe I'm looking at this too much from a wrestling mindset. Obviously, it's MMA.
Right.
But Ronda has said in multiple interviews that this is her last fight.
Correct.
She's also said that she only took this fight to try to reestablish Gina Carano because she feels like the way that she got blackballed was kind of dirty.
Right.
So what's the point in Ronda winning? If you're trying to reestablish Gina, if you're not going to fight again after this, I'm not saying throw the fight, but like, what's the point in Ronda winning? That's the mindset I went into this with. So I picked Gina. Again, Walter will be here shortly, and he'll give us the winner. Anybody on the panel that knows who's won, please don't say anything. Let him talk about it when he gets here. Because that was supposed to be one of the things, was him talking about that.
Right.
But yeah, that was my mindset. And like I said, maybe it's too much of a wrestling mindset, but the tradition is to go out on your back. What has Ronda got to gain by winning? So I went with Gina.
Well, I will say this as a little bit of MMA history. I mean, I've seen Ronda literally tap out people in less than 30 seconds. So that number alone makes me wonder, oh, shit. But it's also one of those things where, yeah, I look at Gina Carano's story as so much more of a self-redemption to her as a human being, honestly. But I only want the best for both in whatever they choose to do, whether Ronda makes more babies and Gina goes into directing, because I've been fully invested in their return to MMA since MVP MMA started, because I recognize both names. But yeah, you tell me that.
And there were some other great notable names on the card. I might actually have to go back and watch this fight.
I am going to, actually, believe it or not.
You know, Nate Diaz was on the card. Junior Dos Santos was on the card.
About to say that Pagano guy. I mean, Nagaro. I'm probably screwing up names. Sorry, folks.
Nagano.
Thank you, Nagano. I mean,
you for real?
Dude got himself back in order. Again, I'm very curious to see. That's the thing about MMA, though, that I also kind of don't get. Because literally, all it takes is one right shot, bang, 5 rounds, 5 minutes, my ass, it's over.
Yeah, exactly.
Second? Okay, that's a finale. Well, Charles, I see your hand. What do you want to say real quick? Hashtag spoiler free.
I don't know either. I'm in the dark. For real, Nate Diaz was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a pretty star-studded.
I'm screwed to be able to sleep tonight now.
with a lot of announcements too. A lot of big announcements coming out of the card. It was pretty interesting.
I
will say this.
Developments. Go ahead.
I wish I were not cursed by Danhausen at the way this show has gone tonight. At the earlier.
You know what? Let me go back to blue, by the way. The jury is out. Oh, by the way, JJ, how you like that? Beep. Beep. We gotta have different color dynamics sometimes based on topics. I got a full red set too, but we'll do that when we play the weakest link.
I don't mind the set, but stop using the Seinfeld music. Mr. Non-copyright over here. Freaking playing copyrighted music like 500 times.
You know,
I never want to hear non-copyright come out of your mouth.
He's got you there.
We're not monetized, but I knew I had to do something. I wanted to run the
I am.
once because you
say JJ is. No, did you forget that?
I got to 70 agenda, so this bitch in the ass in the first place. All right. Anyway.
Well, I don't think JJ saw the future of you doing that Seinfeld stuff, to be fair.
Seriously, and
I woke up 2 minutes before.
Maybe I made an assumption. But I thought that, when I didn't send you the topics, you would have looked at the video description to see what was in there, so that you knew what you were going to talk about.
He was too busy watching Joe Hendry.
Yeah, fucker! Dad, bless it. Can we go one night?
believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Damn it. And now we return to Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz on solo shot.
He cursed.
JJ the man. Shut the fuck up. That being said, I knew that was going to happen. And two, when the fuck have you ever told me to look at the screenshot of the video? You goober. That being said,
Those are the plot.
Shut up, Charles.
Look, like I said, I've been up since 5:30. You know where I've been all day. You know the stuff that's been on my mind all day. Sue me for not messaging you. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, I'm not Donald Trump. I'm not going to take all your freaking money without royalties. I'm not going to say you're fired, so don't worry about it. I'm a nicer entrepreneur, trying to be. That being said, I'm also more reliable to literally improv on the scene, as I do every damn freaking time I'm on this YouTube screen. Speaking of reliable, Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz has finally returned to give you. By the way, this is your 2-minute warning. Information you are about to hear is going to bring spoilers to MVP MMA. If you do not wish to be spoiled for the prime fights that were showcased tonight at Slip Level Studios, thank you for tuning in, including Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. This will be your only warning to step away right now from the Saturday Shenanigans or mute your feed. As I give now to Walter in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, Walter. Go ahead and lend us the recap towards MVP MMA tonight. And also, how are you? And again, shout out to you and Statboy Mike on your watch along. The floor is yours, my friend. How was it?
It was awesome. Like we've been saying in the bedroom situation, that last fight, Ronda won in literally 17 fucking seconds. She tackled Gina. Gina fought a little bit. She turned to the side, got that armbar, and she tapped. Literally 17 seconds of the first round.
I know.
Only one fight. This entire event went past the first round, and that was Mike Perry and Nate Diaz. Perry showing his boxing skills, but scar tissue so bad on Nate Diaz. If you follow Nate Diaz, you know how much he bleeds. He bled way too much. His corner stopped it coming out of the first. So technically, there still wasn't a second round. But Mike Perry wins by TKO because Nate Diaz couldn't come out of the corner. And Gano won, knockout, less than 2 minutes.
I was figuring he was going to do that.
Yeah. Junior Dos Santos got knocked out about 2 minutes into the fight. And that was it. There was 5 total fights. Everybody got knocked out in the first round except Mike Perry, and Ronda won by submission instead of a knockout. But yeah, only one fight literally made it past the first round bell. Jake Paul doing well with MMA. MVP can give competition. The MMA fighters are going to get paid more. John Jones and Ngannou did a little tease. We'll see if he can get out of his contract. But technically he retired, so I don't know what the contract issue would be. But he has arthritis in the hip, so we'll see.
Ooh. A damn armbar. Ronda Rousey, most lethal armbar on the planet, not named Tatsumi Fujiwara, the master, the pioneer, the freaking creator of the Fujiwara armbar. Tony Onoki probably be proud. So, I mean, damn. Go figure. Take over into the armbar. I swear I saw it coming. Because when Ronda Rousey's on, she's on. And truth be told, her final fight. Go figure. What was Ronda Rousey's longest fight? Has he ever gone beyond one round?
Who? Mike Perry?
Ronda.
Oh, Ronda. Yeah. She's gone beyond one round, but that's her 9th submission in less than a minute.
Jesus Christ. Well, what a way to retire.
Yeah, they asked her, is it possible? And she said, no fucking way. I couldn't end it better than that.
So, I mean, I'm sure you weren't surprised by that result. At post-match, did Gina and Ronda embrace? They smile on the way.
They love each other. We wouldn't have I don't know if you guys know, we wouldn't have a Ronda Rousey if it wasn't for Gina. She brought
I know.
Ronda Rousey.
That's why I was telling them. I followed the story
Yeah.
from beginning to end.
We wouldn't have her, and Ronda kept telling her, "You're my fucking hero."
Well, what a lovely fairy tale ending for the MMA career of Ronda Rousey. Thank you, Ronda. All right. Well, that being said, thank you, Walter. And that, folks, was the MMA recap. Short, sweet, simple, and to the point. Does anyone have any thoughts regarding what you just heard or Ronda Rousey winning in 17 seconds via submission? Going once. Going twice. Okay. Well, that, folks, has been the Charles, you may speak, as I saw it in the feed.
I am not surprised now that Ronda won. Damn. There goes me wishing me thinking Gina Carano was going to win. Damn.
17 seconds. And I thought I was bad. Sheesh.
Well, now I got to tell my girlfriend's stepfather about that now. I'm not going to hear the end of it during the week.
Well, at least I know I can last longer than Gina Carano.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say.
Damn it. Damn it.
What's wrong, Noah?
Good night, everybody.
And now for a taste of things to come.
This is the most short and fucked up Saturday Shenanigans I've ever moderated. And as always, here in the Super Reliable Studios, we truly encompass, embrace, celebrate, engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, and react to all. Damn it. I can't with this. I can't. The wrestling. And welcome back here to the damaged edition of We Tied As Fuck Saturday Shenanigans, not brought to you by Viagra or friggin' melatonin. I am your moderator of this madness, the simple man Noah Foster, as we have reached our conclusion. And it didn't even
No, we have not.
Oh, well, fuck me. What do you have?
I wanted to give you guys an idea of why the Nick Diaz fight got stopped. Look at that shit. That's blood that man was bleeding in one round of fighting.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's fucked up.
And I've seen a lot of fair share of that before. Yikes.
I'm about to say MMA gets pretty gory, but I didn't know it could get that damn gory. God damn, Lord forgive me. Whoa. Anything
You're gonna see some gory shit in a couple of weeks. I can't spoil shit because it's not gonna air, but you're gonna see some gory shit in a couple of weeks.
Well, without spoiling shit, why don't you talk a little bit about your 2-night excursion to Sacktown, good sir?
Oh yeah, Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that. Walter Cruz's impact. Let's go ahead and talk about that, Walter. Give us some takeaways. As we see, of course, the center of attention, Brittany Brooks, FSW Women's Champion, leaving her own impact in a TNA ring. Lord knows the Knockouts division needs some real knockouts since one's completely fake. Anyway, continue, Walter.
Well, before I go, Nick has said he had his hand. I don't want
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. I'm so fucked up and tired. It's ridiculous. And I'm sober. Nick, what you got to say real quick?
I was just going to reiterate the post that I put out today, this evening. So, I mean, mine's really not that. Well, I mean, it's important, but, I mean, yeah. Walter can go ahead and go first.
Okay.
Well, without spoiling anything, I had a great time. You saw that picture right there? I could not have asked to be closer, like legit, like right there. And I did
those
watch.
seats were a hookup, by the way.
Yeah. Thanks to Ross Foreman, who's the president of media in TNA, and thanks to Tessa Blanchard, who gave me the contact information to try to reach her in the interview. She said you got to go through him, and when I went through him, that happened. Got 8 total tickets. On a 2-night event, so it was awesome. But yeah, that's as close as you can get. And then the night before, I was just as close. But yeah, I watched Impact on the TNA Plus just to see, and yeah, you could see me and my family like a lot of freaking times, especially during my boy Santana's entrance, because we were at the concession stand. My son goes to sit down. The cameraman pulled me and was like, "You want to be part of Santana's entrance?" And started pulling random people. So, because he goes through the crowd, as you know. So, yeah, when Santana makes his entrance, I'm literally the first person he walks up to. If you watch Impact again.
Nice.
So, but yeah, man, it was nice. It was awesome action. It's great to see how they do it. First time I've ever seen TNA, and to see how they tape like several. What did they tape? A month worth of action, I'm assuming, because there was a lot of freaking matches. But yeah, on actual Impact, the stuff I can say because it's already out there. There was a number 1 contendership battle royal that was won, believe it or not, by Eric Young. So Eric Young is now the number 1 contender to the TNA World Championship. So, not sure when that match is going to take place. Well, technically I do, but I can't spoil it because they announce it later. But yeah, they're going to eventually announce that match. So that's how they started off. You had Mustafa Ali coming out. Who the freak did he fight? Now I can't even think of. No, he cut that promo. That was funny as shit, by the way. But he did target Santana. So I guess he's trying to be a double champ because he was part of I keep saying Royal Rumble Battle Royal. Yeah.
Completely different.
Of course, yeah, the showcase feature of the TNA Knockout World Champion, and of course she was interrupted by Xia Brookside, who beat her a couple of weeks ago. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago she beat her. So of course she's trying to stake her claim to get in her TNA World title shot. Can't spoil whether she gets it or not. But yeah, she asked for her title shot because she beat her.
Saw that coming.
That happened. Then the system. Oh my god, I've heard the System's music too many times to count in one freaking night. I can do a month straight without hearing the fucking System's music anymore. Jesus Christ, the amount of times these people were involved in segments.
Talk about what a good influence you were to your son.
Oh yeah. My 8-year-old literally screamed "fuck the System," but he got into it. So did my nephew. The second my nephew was chanting. I've never brought him to a wrestling event, but I mean, he got more excited than my own kid. And then he texted me earlier today. He said, "Anytime you go to any wrestling in Sacramento, please bring me." So I made a new fan out of that. Then there was KC Navarro fought AJ Francis in a street fight. I legit don't know what happened. I couldn't see one iota of the match because literally I went to the concession stand and that's when the cameraman pulled me and was like, "You gotta wait here because the entrance is next after the
That was
match."
the
So
best- that
I
was the
literally
best time
didn't
to do
watch
that.
the match at all.
That was the best time to do that.
Yeah. So
So
if you
AJ
watch it
Francis
tonight,
was
you
your
might have to
bathroom
talk about
break?
that.
That made Noah happy.
Did
Thank
you get to
JJ.
see it, Noah? Because I have no idea.
No, I didn't go watch that highlight. You know I don't give a damn about Flop Dollar. Continue.
But I'm assuming Casey won. I mean, no, sorry, AJ won because of what was taped later. But then you had you had Mike Santana come out, did his promo, and yeah, actually, now that I look at the results, AJ did defeat Casey. But Santana came out, did his promo because he had to fight, of course, Steve Macklin, for who was the number one contender at that point, and that was a street fight, but not gonna say it because it was taped. Obviously, can't say what happened.
Good man.
Yeah, and then you had what was it? Victoria Crawford
Yeah.
and Mila Moore against Rosemary and Ali, right?
Yes, Demon X Bunny.
Yes, and of course the bunny won.
Yay.
Much to Noah's. I know Noah was gonna be fucking happy with that.
What? No, I mean, Demon X Bunny just started. They can't lose yet. That might be the only legit tag team they have right now in TNA, so they need to make sure they get the wins. Continue.
And then it ended with Broken Matt Hardy and Jeff, who send the invite to the crazy. Okay. Obviously, I saw the match because they taped it. To a fucking Righteous Garden match.
Righteous?
Wait till you fucking see what this match is.
Right?
Holy fucking shit. I can tell you what the match is. It literally looks like the Garden of Eden, except the fucking ropes are all barbed wire. Well, they're wrapped with barbed wire. They're not turned into barbed wire. There's fucking, like, you know the little fences that block you from coming into a garden? Those are on each of the turnbuckles, made completely of barbed wire on the fence. There is no turnbuckle. They took all the pads off and put like these little black things to cover it. But yeah, then there was pretty much a cult following in there. But yeah, it's fucking crazy. The match is pretty much it's a Hardy compound without being in North Carolina, basically.
Okay then.
And it's a weird Righteous Garden of Eden. It's fucking awesome to see them set that up. By the way,
That
match was crazy.
Righteous and Garden being in the same sentence. That doesn't compute, bro.
Then the main event. Oh fuck! My first TNA event, and this happens. But Cedric Alexander went one-on-one with Leon Slater. Fucking banger of the match. 2 out of 3 falls. Leon Slater took the first fall. Cedric wins the second, and then the third and final fall. Of course, because system involvement. Sorry, Noah, but we got a new fucking X Division champion. Cedric Alexander. The system literally has all the titles except one.
He was this close to being the longest reign. This damn close.
One day. He was 1 day away.
God.
They took it from him. But yeah, that night was fucking fun. And to be that close on both nights. The second night I was closer than the first night, but to be as close as I was in the first night, you gotta love it. But yeah, I try to take screenshots when I watched on the Impact, but it just black screens out. But if you guys watch it, yeah, I'm on TV a fucking lot.
Well, I look at the clips on YouTube. Of course, I saw Santino Marella and Daria and Santana was over their shit. I don't blame them. They argue more than his family.
They challenged to a mixed tag team match with Santana and Indy against Stax and Ariana.
Get the fuck out, TNA NXT! All right. Thank you for that. Walter also, yay. All right. That being said, Walter, I'm glad you had a great time again. Literally, Impact is a unique experience in its own right. You gotta do it at least once, even under AMC TNA. Now, whether or not I do it under this era versus the I saw.
Oh shit! I forgot to mention something.
I'm sure you saw a lot.
They made an announcement that on my birthday again, which is the same night as AEW, but TNA Slammiversary,
Yes.
Ultimate X is back.
Oh, nice.
The Ultimate X is going to be live in Boston, Massachusetts. So that's going to be a Slammiversary.
All right. Well, again, that will be a simulcast day. Stay tuned, folks, to see how the budget, the teams, and the calls goes, and which one might be retro. Again, you don't know. All right. Well, that being said, Walter, any other lasting impacts from what you watched versus what you heard, you saw, you witnessed, non-spoiler free, that you take away from your first TNA Impact live viewing?
If you haven't seen the TNA event live in person, do yourself a favor and get it. Go
You gotta
see
do
it.
it at least once. You
This
gotta do it
shit
at
is
least
fucking
once.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, regardless, you gotta do it at least once. And shout out to the other half of Tatash, the Tillar, Mighty Morphin Pig Power Ranger, follow her Raiders of Wrestling. Apparently, she talked to Tessa Blanchard at Comic Con Revolution today. So I'm glad that she had fun with that. And it also support one of our newest partners here at PC Powerbomb here on the X as well. And again, follow the SR Studios. She follows before on the X as well. Figure that, Walter. That being said, Charles, I did see your hand in the chat. What do you want to say real quick before we open it up to open panel conversation regarding Walter's impact? Go ahead, Charles.
Well, that was going to be the thing I was going to ask. The Walter State about the Garden of whatever the hell.
The Righteous Garden.
The Righteous Garden.
That sounds like my kind of match I would definitely enjoy watching.
I mean, it sounds like a match out of Jeff Hardy's brain of Jeff Hardy and Vincent Entertainment.
Exactly.
There is no Jeff, and there is no Matt.
Brother Nero!
And I will the
there's
other
a broken
thing.
Matt.
Continue to talk about that. I was still shocked about Leon losing that. Why?
I'm fucking pissed off about that.
I'm surprised. And then considering now I saw for who's now playing Cedric now. Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh yeah, I did see also that clip of Vidi Vidi Vici. I'm like, what? Okay.
Oh yeah, he came back. I wasn't sure if that was part of a future taping or the actual Impact, but
It was the actual.
Yeah,
It was actual.
And he's going right after that X Division title. You'll see, but yeah, he looks impressive. At least he kind of can backdoor his way back into WWE if he wants. But yeah, he looks good, man.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, figure for that, Walter. I'm glad you were finally able to witness an Impact event live, and you had a good time, and that's all that matters. And you didn't even mention Ash once, which I'm very proud of. All right. That being said, you know how I feel, folks, and I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. Anyone else have anything they want to add or ask Walter regarding his first Impact before we move on, or maybe finally close this soiree if no one else has anything else to say? I open the floor now to anybody. Going once. Going twice.
I do.
Go, Nick.
Oh my goodness. I would be remiss and I'd be a bumhole if I didn't say what I tweeted out earlier. Guys, Kaya McKenna was on Collision.
Hashtag spoiler free, but I mean, it's the TV. But yes, the conduit of comic, Kaya McKenna, who will be challenging Erica Demena for her Spark Joshi Championship. Her and Alley Catch were on the other side of the Divine Dominion 5-minute open eliminator challenge. Yeah. So go check that out. Of course, go check out Potter Mania to see how Alley Catch and Kaya McKenna garnered respect for each other in their first ever singles encounter, I believe, at that show. Still, again, was one of my favorite matches from that night. I would love to see those two as a tag team, honestly. That'd be fucking awesome. But
it's just crazy. Kaya. Yeah, no, it was just crazy how, we interview people and we do what we're doing right now.
Well,
and then you see them on television. You're like,
yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like we interviewed her.
Well,
so it was really cool to be like, just shout out to her.
I get that. There's a sense of pride in that. I get that because it gives a spotlight to who this incredible individual is that's trying to just do what they love and achieve bigger dreams. And Kaya McKenna is definitely a definition of that. Also a mental health advocate. I got nothing but love and respect for the conduit of karma. Wonderful human being, as many people have been here. Also, as many people here on this panel, despite the fact most of them have probably pissed me off. It's just, one of those things where it's about wrestling is family, even if wrestling sometimes annoys you. But that's why I got Buzzer and classic game shows like Card Sharks and Flipside and what's another classic one? Password Plus to remind me how to recheck my mentality. Bob Eubanks, rest in peace. All right, well, thank you for that, Walter, and thank you for that, Nick. And Dattila, yeah, duh, Comic-Con, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, shocker, right? I'm surprised you didn't say Digimon. But we're not going down that rabbit hole tonight. That being said, go check out Chainsaw Girls podcast and Boost to Boost, by the way, folks. Kai McKenna also will be part of the special showcase, and go check out her interview with Deanna Peraza and Steve Macklin on the Boost to Boost podcast today on your local feed. All right, well, that being said, let's go ahead and get the, what the fuck is that? Oh, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Oh, a mouse pad. That is a weird ass mouse pad. Well, I mean, you put anything on a mouse pad. Pokemon sucks. Overrated. Should have died a long time ago.
No.
Says. Exodia Forbidden one. All right, so now we're just checking out mouse pads here. Okay, this is a mouse pad showcase, I guess, and not at your local Office Max or wherever you
I saw some of these too when I was there. And to the point she made in the comment, unfortunately, there was no Emmanuel card one.
Shocker, right? AI didn't.
It should have been. It should have been.
It's not going to sell. It's not going to sell. All right. Jesus Christ. Get your freaking head
I
out
don't
of the
know, man. I think there's some people out there that would buy themselves an Emmanuel card mouse pad.
I sure as hell.
Agreed.
You all are fucking idiots. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up things here unless someone else has anything to say. What do you got, DJ?
I would like to touch on Comic-Con Revolution a little bit myself.
Go ahead.
All in all, very fun experience, especially being there as an industry insider, as my badge said.
Oh.
I did get to talk to a couple of different people. No interviews. Saw a pretty cool Beverly Hills 90210 panel that I recorded and will be uploaded to my channel within the week. I did get to speak to Tessa Blanchard a couple of times.
Diamante.
Walter will be pleased to know that she actually remembered me.
Nice.
Went up to her, and her handler, was kind of like asking, what I wanted to purchase. And I was like, I just kind of wanted to talk to her for a minute. And she looks at me and she's like, "You're from Vegas, right? I met you in Vegas." I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "You were with your friend, right? The one that you had like just met, not like the first time you guys were meeting was there." So remembered Walter as well. And I told her, that he had just gone to Impact, that he had emailed Ross to try to set up an interview. And she perked up like, "Oh, cool. Like, maybe this will actually happen." Told her that he had gone to both nights of tapings and had a blast, was messaging me while he was there, type of thing. So just trying to kind of help on my end with talking to her, keep us fresh in her mind. Glad Dattila was able to talk to her as well. That's cool. I know how much of a TNA fanatic Dattila is, so being able to talk to the former Knockouts champion, former world champion, I'm sure that was a cool moment for her.
The fact that we stood out in her mind is just amazing, because you know how many fucking people these people meet every day? But,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
See what respect gets you?
I found and purchased, see if it'll come up on the camera because I don't want to take my virtual screen off.
Yeah, it's covering it. It's blending.
Yeah, you're John Cena-ing it.
It's a comic book called The Wanderers of Melisande. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Close enough.
But in any event, those of you that are familiar with the independent circuit, the co-plotter and artist of this is one Scott Lost, one of the original PWG 6.
That's a throwback.
So he was there signing. Comic was only $5 and he signed it for me too. Oh. I asked him about doing a possible interview and he was like, "Yeah, hit me up on socials." It was like, obviously we'll talk about your wrestling career a little bit because that's the hook, but I'd love to get the knowledge about what you're doing now and your books and everything out there to the public. And he was like, yeah, absolutely.
Give him a showcase. That's the way it works. Give him a damn showcase.
So that may be coming together in the not so distant future. I'm trying to put the brakes a little bit on some of the interviews. The idea was to do 1 to 2 a month. Looks like at least the next few weeks, maybe it'll be a little bit more frequently than that, unfortunately. But coming out of Vegas, we have so many that we need to try to capitalize on. That
opportunities there.
It's like, you gotta seize the opportunity when it presents itself. There's a brand new promotion that's going to be launching on July 3rd. The promoter has already told me that she's down to do an interview.
Nice.
I have the date lined up, which will be May 28th, which will be the week after we talk to Jack Cartwheel. Just need to get approval on the graphic, and then I'll announce that one. So that'll make 3 interviews in May, because we had Evan from Focus Pro at the beginning of the month, and then Cartwheel and this one. And then there's still 2 more, not counting Scott Lost, that we're looking for potentially in June. I can maybe hold off on Scott until July. That way we don't overload June. I've had to have a stern talking to Nick because he's out there trying to get interviews like every day for us. And it's
Don't
like,
stretch yourself too thin, brobs.
I love you, bro. I love, bro. I'm going Vince Russo here, bro. I'm going full on, bro.
I
Gotta pump
stopped.
the
I
brakes,
swear,
bro.
I stopped.
Got to pump the brakes, bro, because we don't need to be doing interviews every day, bro. I do have a real job, bro.
I stopped. I haven't.
I know. I'm
Easy,
messing
Nick.
with Nick. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, God.
I'm giving you shit. This
As
is
he
what
does.
brothers do.
Exactly.
Fine.
All right. Well,
But-
thank you for that, JJ. And stay tuned, folks, for further upcoming attractions. And, I mean, there was a Comic-Con here in Detroit. Aaron and Caitlin also went to one.
That's awesome. Send me that picture, Datilla. I'll show it on the screen real quick.
There's a Stockton one coming up too, and I applied for media access. Hopefully, I get it. We'll see.
Well, good luck to both of you. And Nick,
I'll
again,
tell you the same thing that was told to me when I applied for mine. If you get denied, don't be, don't
Exactly.
take it as like permanent rejection.
Exactly.
Try again next year.
Opportunity.
Use that as motivation to grow your channel, because you are under 300 subs on YouTube, unfortunately. But, I also don't know how big that con is. Just don't let it deter you from trying again.
Exactly.
Use it as fuel. Use it as momentum. And if you do get accepted, just make sure you read all the rules properly so that you don't get denied the following year because maybe you didn't do something you were supposed to. But may the force be with you, good sir.
Pop culture, bloody hell. All right. Well, that being said, Comic-Con madness and other upcoming attractions aside, again, folks, stay tuned. Further watch-alongs, further cross-promoting, further wrestling promotion engagement and interviews here, all brought to you by JJ, Nick, Walter, and the crew here at the Superchatted Studios. That's CREW, by the way, not CRU. With that being said, we will take a commercial break, and Digimon is also overkill. I don't even know what the fuck they do with it anymore. I think even humans assimilate with them anymore. I don't know. I'd rather just be in the Matrix on a supercomputer. That being said, we're going to take our final commercial break, and then whether or not he continues to talk shenanigan nonsense or stuff like that, you all see the clock. I'm officially enacting my 2-hour shutdown. I am not a robot, but I am tired as fuck. So I leave you with this anime trivia question as we go into a commercial break. From Yu Yu Hakusho, what's the name of the strong alcohol that Chu drinks during his fight with Yusuke? The answer to follow after this final commercial break here tonight at the Superchatted Studios as the We Are Fucked edition of the Saturday Shenanigans continue. Stay tuned.
And now for a taste of things to come.
Canadian friend Ash, lovely on the screen. And as always, there, because JJ's a freaking madman. And as always, here in the Super Liable Studio, truly encompass, engage, sub, and engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, and react to. Let's go red. There's the classic. There's the Cabo. That's better. Oh! The wrestling. And welcome back here to the tower. That's
Oh my god, that's so cute. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's the most hideous fucking thing I've seen in my life. That
How
being said,
dare you, Noah?
shut the fuck up, Charles.
How dare you?
That being said, welcome back here to the We Times fucking edition of Shenanigans as we reach our end game, or I reach my end game, as I left you all with this anime question from Yu Yu Hakusho. Let's see if anyone has the answer. I know JJ doesn't. What's the name of the strong alcohol that Shu drinks during his fight with Yusuke? You guys have 5 seconds to yell at the answer, or you all forfeit. 5.
Sake.
Ogre Killer, isn't it?
Ogre Kill is correct. Very good. All right. Good job, Walter. You take the night tonight. Stay tuned next week, folks, as the anime trivia continues. Stay tuned to see what anime I pull out next. One of my favorites from my childhood. All right. Well, that being said, I don't got nothing else to fucking say. There is less than 2 minutes and 20 seconds with my I give a fuck about you all clock. So unless anyone has anything else something to say, we'll go ahead and get the fuck out of here. We'll go.
Does anybody remember an anime called Monster Rancher?
Yes, Monster Rancher, very vaguely. What's the problem that inspired like the Monster like Wilds like video game series? And again, Walter, I feel like he's cheating at this point, using his son as his lifeline. Ask the audience my ass, phone a friend, use your damn family.
I didn't ask him. I said I only know that because my son watches all this shit. So
well, that's why you got the inside.
You know what? That is fair.
You got the inside scoop.
I just remember raising him. I used to have to sit through everything.
Well, I mean, that's fair. But you know what? There's worse shit to sit through than Yu Yu Hakusho. Anyway.
Look,
What, Charles?
Well, first, damn it. That's a good thing if you did good.
No. You can't say that. You cannot say non-copyright anymore as much as you played the Seinfeld music.
Don't.
I was going to say that's also true.
I'll play it right now if you don't shut the fuck up. I'm warning you.
But also, good thing don't ask any Yasha questions because, my brain wouldn't. Oh, wait. Never mind. That would be the only thing I would know easily from heart.
Right?
One anime I wish they needed to fix Death Note. I wish he never got caught.
That one. How many different ways do you write a death that's not seen from 1,000 Ways to Die on Spike TV that can work in an anime? That's the freaking definition of Death Note. Don't get me started there. Again, folks, you want more of this pop culture fun with anime, Pokemon, overrated, Power Rangers, and other fun stuff too. Stay tuned for the Tilla and Ash powering up with their own pop culture podcast, a collaboration across their channels. So if you haven't already, subscribe today to Bag for Wrestling, and also subscribe to Rangers of Wrestling, and subscribe to PC Powerball. As you see right there. All right, let's go ahead and get the fuck out of here. I've had enough of this shit for one night in my super tired state. I've been more tired than usual, and maybe that's a good thing. Thank you, game shows.
I was about to say, speaking of game shows and pop culture, if you guys have Netflix, you can watch Pop Culture Jeopardy.
Yeah, it's all right. But again, pop culture, questionable.
There is a little breaking news from the UFC.
What is it, Walter?
Hold on.
This just in. We just got breaking news. I repeat, we just got breaking news. Oh.
McGregor, Return of the Mac, has returned to the UFC, so he's fighting Max Holloway in July 11th.
Okay,
in Vegas. That's the second time they fought, but that's a whole different Max Holloway.
Well, someone's getting fucked up. All right. Jeez, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. Okay. Well, that being said, thank you for that, Walter. And again, folks, stay tuned for further MMA, mixed martial arts, and combat sports correspondence and coverage and outlooks, courtesy of Walter Cruz at Rage of Wrestling, our leading MMA correspondent. Again, thank you for what you and Stepper Mike did. Congratulations to both of you. I hope that you all had an amazing call. And again, folks, subscribe to Stats Boy Sports Bar. Let's get the fuck out of here! Charles, go ahead and tell them people can find you when you're not in your manhole cover.
Yeah, of course. You can follow me on X at 2DogGrundle. I also believe in Chase U.
No, never. Fucking never. Unaccredited institution. Bullshit. All right. Thank you for that, Charles. Always got to find some way to piss me off or bring out the evil within me. All right. Well, thank you for that. Nick, I know you're tired as fuck. Before you freaking drop out of here harder than a hangover, go ahead and tell where the people can find you and follow you.
Nick Believe 12.
Simple as that. All right. Now, he doesn't need poutine. He needs sleep. If he wants to drop off the feed before he falls asleep, he's more than welcome to. Thank you very much, Nick. Walter, you said a lot about your impact, but why don't you go ahead and remind people where you leave your impact on YouTube? Tell where the people can find you.
Find me. By the way, welcome. Congratulations. Don't put that back up because I got to congratulate her. For those that don't know, Tiffany Nieves is the new NWA Women's World Champion.
What? The time Markova lost it? Wow.
So congratulations, Tiffany. We love you. And she just retweeted it and that my post about her and liked it. So we congratulate you.
Congratulations indeed to La Princesa, the new face of the NWA.
She's been the face for a minute, if you want to be honest.
Yeah. True, but she just was missing the right crown for it. She had a tiara, now she's finally got the crown. All hail. Continue, Walter.
Mm-hmm. So find me at Rage of Wrestling on the YouTube channel. I saw that I got a couple of new subscribers. That was from passing out the business cards and networking with a lot of the TNA fans last night or Thursday night. And on Instagram, Walter.Cruz.940. On the X, it's Walter Alex Cruz. But yeah, by August, by Minnesota SummerSlam, if you can give me the 300, the wife and I are doing the Hot Ones Challenge, trivia style, with Noah hosting. We will eat the death wings if we get it wrong. So we'll iron out the details. If you people want to see us punish ourselves for views, please hit that subscribe button.
Oh, well, you know, I get to be Lucifer for one night. All right, well, God bless your livers.
You're still insane.
Okay, thank you for that, Walter. Also, you and your wife are crazy. We're local, but we still love you. Okay. Ash, speaking of love, we always love our Canadian friend, our little bat. Go ahead and tell where the people can find you, young punk.
You can find me on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, at ShadowBatAsh, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Batty for Wrestling. Do not be a dickhead. This is the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. This is going to be the person who will dethrone that motherfucker.
Well, I can agree with one of those things in your hand. The other one, I mean, you already know how I feel about that person.
We gonna paint the town orange.
You know what? I'll take it. I'll freaking take it. Note to self, make the set orange next week just for Ash. And she can talk about Best of the Juniors.
If Best of the Super Juniors is happening, I would absolutely love it. If the finals are Fujita versus Robbie Eagles, I would fucking cry.
Remind me to tell you if that happens. I'm pretty sure you haven't even watched it yet. We've already got 2 days in.
I think you know the answer to that question given circumstances beyond my control of my crazy life.
Well, at least it's a rightful reason. Again, congratulations on your upcoming promotion. Thank you for that.
That's right, guys. You know my retail job I have? I got recently hired as an assistant manager.
Congratulations.
Hard work pays off, folks. It's a grind, but it does pay off over time. This is the money, Canadian, that you can gain with your
This is what 15 years gets you, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Freaking Walter with the Dexter Laboratory, Cartoon Network 90s, then early 2000s.
Great choice to see, Walter.
You know, better than Dee Dee. Get out of my laboratory. All right. Well, thank you for that, Ash, and thank you, Walter, for bringing a spark of positivity to my rather dark, tired demeanor. Once in a while, it does happen. That'll be the day I wear white pants and a white suit on camera. Be the freaking colonel.
Yes.
And until that's saying, congrats to our fellow Slajan A. Salute the face of America, not named Donald Trump. Chelsea Green, the leader that we need.
Support Chelsea Green. We stand on guard for she.
That's simple as that. Thank you, Ash. What a national anthem. Someone timestamp that and tag her in it. All right. Thank you for that, Ash. JJ, again, chase you unaccredited, but you are not unaccredited. You are successful in all that you do, but you continue to achieve. Tell where the people can find you. You're fucking graphic.
Isn't that just an amazing graphic there? God, the person that put work into that, but in any event, you can find me on Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams, YouTube Casa D18 Studios, X Casa D18 Studio, no S at the end on the X. Of course, as has been highlighted multiple times, follow us at SR Studios 2024 on the X. That's where you can find out all of the upcoming announcements, keep up with all the cool stuff. You know, I do want to take a moment, even though the event has already happened, and say thank you to PWJ, Pro Wrestling Junkie, for allowing us to sponsor everyone's BFF, Izzy Moreno, for the show today. Our logo was seen through a bunch of people at Resivus. I need to go back, watch the show and the match. You know, it was supposed to be announced at the outset of the match that we were sponsoring her. All kinds of cool stuff. I also want to give a shout out to our boys at Pro Wrestling Symphony.
Nice.
Allowing us to sponsor the Dragon Kai live Taekwondo demonstration at their upcoming show on June 6th. I have received a follow back from the Sensei. So we may be able to get them on in the not so distant future as an interview as well. I know one of the people Nick is really trying to get us in contact with is the champion Colby Carter. Colby has been contacted, has not contacted me back. So just got to get on that one, Nick, when it becomes
I told him to
time.
call you guys. I told him to message you. Worst guy. I'll get him.
And then this coming Thursday, the master of the cartwheel, Jack Cartwheel, will be joining us for some midweek shenanigans. The first superstar to join us with the WWE branding. That's going to be a very big shoe. The words of Ed Sullivan, a very big shoe.
And I'm upside down, head over heels for that one.
I know, for a flipping good fan, right? But make sure everyone joins us and tunes in for that. Hey, don't give the drums on that. That's how he got his 8x10 autographed to a flipping good friend.
Head over heels prior to that, JJ. I remember the autograph signing. He made a freaking Tears for Fears reference.
Hey, that's actually my favorite Tears for Fears song too.
I think Everybody Rules the World is better for walking, especially on a day that's gray and mundane. And
I'm not taking anything away from Everybody Wants to Rule the World or Shout, but I feel they're a little overrated.
Fair enough.
I feel like Head Over Heels is so underrated.
All right.
And that was from the same album.
I'll give you that. Yes, folks, I'm familiar with all three of those songs. I know a lot more music than I should. Continue.
But yeah, just make sure you guys support, retweet those posts. Again, follow Pop Culture Powerbomb, PC Powerbomb on X. That is Datilla's new venture in addition to Rangers of Wrestling. So she's trying to build that from the ground up.
Good
right
start.
now, she's only got like 5 followers because it's literally like a brand new page.
The Genesis.
So everybody go out there, follow. If everybody in this room follows it, that already doubles her numbers, you know.
Do it now.
So,
go on the
and then
X.
the people in the chat too, Safet, Christopher, Interactive Games and Movies, which, by the way, I don't know if you saw the comment, but Interactive Games and Movies would buy himself an Emmanuel Card mouse pad because that's a swell guy.
Or a guy with an ego.
Indeed.
Bigger than
And then Datilla asked if you like her additions to your song.
Oh, bloody hell. Go ahead, freaking write better music than AI at this point with my name in it. I don't freaking know. Continue. I'm not judging. I'm not freaking Simon Cowell. If I was Simon Cowell, you know what would be happening. Anyway, that being said, good luck in your new endeavor. By the way, change the bird. The bird's dead. It's a black X with a white cross. Deal with it. It's X, not twit. So that being said, let's go ahead and move on from there. Thank you, JJ, if that's all you got to say with all of that there. And again, thank you all for tuning in to the We Tired as Fuck edition of the Saturday Shenanigans without the Saki. What the bloody hell? Hashtag spoiler free. Stay tuned for that, folks, on TNA Wrestling. Thank you for that, Walter. We'll look at that behind closed doors. And you all just saw a sneak peek of what's to come if you are a TNA Impactful fan, like I, who still am. Again, I'm so damn
Yeah, if I had known that wasn't supposed to be shown on the air, then I wouldn't have loaded it in just yet.
I didn't see anything. Don't worry about it. And no one else saw anything. No one else recapped that for 3 seconds. All right. All right. Well, thank you for that, JJ. Again, folks, if you want to follow me, find me, engage me if you choose. Good luck with that. It's an anti-social. But good luck. I am on YouTube and on the X and in Foster 1916. For all things wrestling, shout out to AW fam. I got to make sure I update these, by the way, with the logo in the corner due to business reasons. For I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! Again, the upcoming week of the Cement Brand Agenda goes as follows. I'll be with Papagino on the Papagino Network this coming Wednesday for Member Push Wrestling collaboration project with me and Papagino on his podcast forum. As of course, he does the Predictably Breakdown with me after each big show, PLE preview for AEW WWE. Speaking of which, stay tuned for City Predicting Double or Nothing AEW 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Thursday night ahead of our watch along coverage this weekend for Double Nothing for the kickoff of the Owen. As I pointed out earlier, with our tradition now to bring you more tournament coverage for the annual tournament spectacles of AEW and other platforms, I will be covering the Owen Hart Foundation tournaments in full on my YouTube channel exclusively, if nothing else, if not under the SRS banner. Stay tuned for more on that, whether I join styles like Supercard of Honor or I freaking do it with 1, 2, 3, 4 batty idiots here on this screen. Also, stay tuned for Particularly Breakdown next week, Monday night, 6 p.m. Standard Time. Not next week. Well, it is basically if you're on the East Coast. Sorry, Sunday. You know what I mean. The Sunday after Double or Nothing, the Monday after Double or Nothing, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Particularly Breakdown. Time subject to change as anything else. What is it, JJ? Pause.
No need to get hasty. You mentioned earlier doing the Owen Hart tournament. You mentioned earlier about doing more tournaments. So I was just wondering if you had made a decision on if you were going to do Tournament of Survival for GCW, especially with Jonathan Gresham in the tournament.
Probably not. Depends on the time, and it depends on the show, and it probably depends on the overall field and my knowledge of the overall field. But I'll put that in as an asterisk. All right. That being said, I also did see a hand up for Nick. Nick, what do you want to say real quick?
We were missed to talk about another thing we're doing next weekend.
What?
With the other the word of the month, the word of the year being collab.
That's something that goes with me. I just
JJ, help, collabs.
Yes. 1 second.
Well,
go ahead, talk amongst yourselves. Let me get the image because it's on my phone. It's not on my computer.
All right. Well, again, we're live.
It is something you knew about, Noah. We discussed it during the meeting, but you probably forgot.
Oh, yeah, because I was watching Card Sharks, and I was tired as fuck. And also, Joe,
just because it was announced on the other person's YouTube, on the other person's X account, so I feel like it should be, we should be definitely bringing light to it, because it's something that is definitely new to us.
Yes, and we did mention it on RX as well. It's loading in right now.
All right. Oh, yeah, Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast and This Week in Wrestling. That. Okay, I remember you did talk a little bit about that. Go ahead.
Yes, that'll be next Sunday, the same day as Double or Nothing. We will be filming that. it's not a live stream. It is a filmed podcast, but it'll be filmed at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. So we will be able to do it prior to the Double or Nothing coverage. Everybody involved in the SRS is welcome to participate. I know Ash has already requested that day off because she loves talking wrestling with some Brick Boys. I believe those were her exact words.
Yep.
Well, fair enough.
Almost verbatim.
There you go.
He
Quote
loves
unquote.
anything Brit Boys.
Well, she's a young punk, and young punks are definitely from the UK. If you know the subculture,
Well,
there.
not
Just
all of
saying.
them. Some of them are from Australia. Let's keep that in mind.
Fair enough. Robbie Eagles, but all right. Fair
Shane
enough.
Hayes, Mikey Nichols,
Shane Hayes, the new
Hartley
GHC
Jackson. I could go on and go on and go on. I could name
Well,
everyone in TMDK.
That's a sub project for your channel, not involving you and the Tillis podcast to come, that you need to have more content on, giving people the inside look on what TMTK means and why the mighty don't kneel and why you never kneel and what you do. But as always, I conclude, there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters, just fans of opinions for this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families, and just to live and professional wrestling, it is truly as simple as that. And with that being said, again, I am not a music critic. Until that, you continue what you love to do. Continue what you all love to do at my expense. At the end of the day, it's nothing but humor, entertainment, and a positive reinforcement, it seems, in other people's lives too. As I continue to host this madness and call everything I need to or want to. So thank you all for tuning into this We Tired as Fuck edition of this weekly form of madness. As you all continue to make the passion persist and pursue. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Hit the bell as videos live on demand, any of the channels in Super Studios or on the X. If you aren't on Super Studios for the day, hop aboard, join along for the ride, join us along for the grind. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell as live on demand on any of the YouTube channels here at the Super Studios. I assure you, the content, the creativity, the madness, the tiredness as fuck is not going to let up anytime soon. In fact, it probably will continue to ensue. With that being said, I am not going to, as I'm going to bid you all now a thing adieu. For Ash, for Datilla, for all of you in the chat, for JJ, for Charles, for Nick, for Walter, for everyone who knows where we're at, thank you all for tuning in. And as always, I'd like to leave, make a pause and fast in life. Have a good night. And thank you once again for tuning in to another rousing, horribly freaking, unpredictably unstable, uncoordinated addiction. That is Sober Without Sake, the Saturday Shenanigans. Have a good night, folks, and we'll see you later this week for other shenanigans to ensue, including Double or Nothing and the Jack Cartwheel interview. Take care.
Believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Someone push the damn fucking button!